Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Koopy, say hi. He's skeptical. Welcome back to another video. I am bringing you into my kitchen today to cook with me. I'm just making dinner for myself and thought it'd be fun to do like a little chit chat, a little share with you what I'm making, and we'll just hang out. I love it. So if you are interested in hanging out with me while I cook some dinner, please keep watching. Okay, I'm so happy to have you in my kitchen with me today because I'm just making dinner for myself right now. My husband is out with a bunch of his guy friends. They're going to the Red Wings hockey game and having a guys' night out. So whenever I'm having dinner by myself, I will make like a really scrumptious vegan meal. I'm vegan, my husband is not, and so when I cook for us, I do try obviously to create, you know, plant-based dishes that he would like as well, but tonight I'm having like tofu and quinoa and like all the things that like I really love that probably aren't his favorite. So I've got my glass of kombucha here. So good. And then I'm joking. Then over here, I've got some red quinoa simmering right now in some vegetable broth. And then in here, I've got some roasted sweet potatoes going, some tofu, and Koopy hiding in the corner. So happy and excited to make this meal. I've just been like craving just like, I'm not comfort food, but like warm food right now. It's like super cold in Michigan, obviously. And, ew, this carrot is really mushy. So I just like love having just like nice, warm, comforting meals, especially when it's like so cold out. So I wanted to make, these carrots are not good. Okay, we're gonna throw these away. Not a little funny. Anyway, so I wanted to just make like, you know, something good and nourishing and warm. And so I was gonna make a veggie stir fry with quinoa and tofu. So that's what I'm making. I have broccoli here. I'm gonna grab some more carrots out of my fridge. I've got some bell peppers here. I have a half of a green bell pepper that we used another night, and then a red and yellow pepper. So I might just kind of like cut these into thirds and use each of those. And that's about it. I got my tofu and my sweet potatoes going in the oven. My sweet potatoes just have like a teaspoon of avocado oil, and my sweet potatoes are very tiny. They're probably about like this big, and I just used 2 of them. So yeah, and I have my little sous chef always around. So I just got my tofu out of the oven to flip, and I just wanted to show you like what it looks like. So I just buy the Simple Truth organic extra firm tofu when I cut it into slices like this. And then my oven is at 400, and I just put it on parchment paper and let it bake for about 15 minutes per side. So right now I'm flipping it, and then I will pop these back in the oven. And what will happen is they'll get nice and crispy on the outside and like still pretty soft on the inside, which I think is really nice in like a stir fry kind of thing. So we'll pop those back in the oven, and then we'll just give our little sweet potatoes here a little bit of a shuffle. And then with sweet potatoes, I'll cut them up into little cubes like this. Again, these are 2 just like tiny sweet potatoes. And I will roast them. I've got my oven at 400, so roast them in the oven for about 20 minutes or so. And I will go in and like stir them around about every 5 minutes. And I know it's kind of excessive, but it like ensures that the outside is all nice and crispy and cooked, and then the inside is like really soft and chewy. While all of that is cooking in the oven, I've got broccoli here. And like I said, I have my my peppers. When I was cutting those carrots, you guys, I like got this like smell of cheese, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I realized like, I don't cook with cheese. I don't have cheese. We don't there's not cheese out here, so those carrots are pretty bad. They were kind of gross. But anyway, what do you guys like to make? Like, what are your go-to meals? Either like if you eat like a different way than like maybe your partner or the people you live with or your family, what do you like to eat, or like what do you like to cook for yourself when it's just you? Like, I used to never like cooking ever. Like, I remember growing up, like I always admired, like I come from an Italian family, and I just always admired like my mom and my grandma, you know, and my aunt and my cousin being super into cooking and just super into all of that. And I just like never had an interest. And I even went through a phase in like my early to mid 20s where it just like wasn't of interest to me. I'm just like chopping up these peppers now. You wanna see what I'm actually doing? But yeah, it just wasn't interesting to me. And I don't know, I didn't enjoy cooking, and then kind of went through a little phase within my health and wellness where I just like wasn't taking care of myself, and like cooking wasn't a priority. And once I decided that enough was enough there, and that wasn't serving me anymore, I started getting back into it. And like now I really truly love and enjoy being in the kitchen. Like, it's very therapeutic to me. I don't know, it's kind of like a spiritual practice for me. It's a lot of times I'll light a little candle and I turn music on. I always like to have a glass of kombucha like while I'm cooking, and it's just like relaxing. It's, again, like just very therapeutic. I have you propped up on a bunch of cookbooks right now. And one of the cookbooks that I just like pulled out from my shelf to prop you up was Cooking with Italian Grandmothers. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna wash some stuff in my sink. Are you guys like a clean while you work kind of people, or do you clean up at the end? For me, I always have to clean while I'm going. It just like helps keep me sane, and just helps, I think, me enjoy my meal, like once my meal is actually done, because cleanup is pretty much done because I've done it along the way. So I'm gonna wash this stuff in the sink here and come back and finish cutting up my broccoli and peppers. Okay, dishes are washed. I feel so much better. Now, for the sake of time, I already chopped up all of my broccoli, and I chopped them into pretty decent size pieces. And I do use the stems. A lot of people will throw the stems away. I do use the stems. It's like not focusing, that's fine. And I also have my tofu right here. My blocks of tofu I was cooking are done. So I have just some like regular uncooked tofu here. And I just wanted to show you like what it is and like what I do. So it just comes in like this big block like this. Sorry, that's not focusing. And I will cut it lengthwise. So I'll cut this, and these are tiny. I'll cut this into 3 slices. Like this. So they're about that thick, okay? So I will cut one block into 3 slices like that. And again, these are pretty tiny blocks. And then I'll put them on parchment paper, and I'll pop these in the oven on 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, actually 15 minutes. And then I'll take them out and I'll flip them. I don't marinate them in anything. I don't put anything on them. It's literally just these blocks of tofu on parchment paper. So I'll get my timer. Cool. Then, now I have my bell peppers that I showed you earlier. And I just wanted to show you like how I cut my peppers, because I feel like people can tend to be wasteful. I'll see a lot of people like cut the top off and like discard all of this, but you can eat that, that's good. So I just cut my pepper. I have it upside down on my cutting board, and I cut it in half at the bottom, and then I break it open. Okay, so now it's in 2 halves like this. Then you can just reach in and pull out the stem and pull out any of the seeds. Okay, so it's like that. So you have the entire pepper, and then this is the only waste that I have from it. Just the stem and like the white part on the inside. So again, I just peel back the stem and it comes off like instantly. And then I just peel out the white part on the inside and I just kind of like tap out the seeds. Okay, then you're not like wasting a bunch of it, because like throwing food away is like throwing money away. So I just like to be as resourceful as possible. So this was my red bell pepper all cut, or I'm sorry, just seeded. The same thing with my yellow. So I cut it in half at the bottom, peel it apart, and then just kind of wiggle the seed or the stem out, pull out all of the white bits on the inside. Super clean, cool. And then the other half. So I'm only gonna use half of each of these. So I'll probably just put those in the fridge for another time. And I also normally will always have like a bowl on my counter to like dump trash in or dump garbage in, but I don't have that. So I'll just dump all of this in the trash. Beautiful. Okay. And whenever I make a stir fry or something like this, and my quinoa is all done, by the way, so that's just cooling. I like to make extra. I think that stir fry keeps pretty well in the fridge. And I'm just chopping these up in like pretty decent sized pieces. I don't know, I like to make extra, so like I'll make all that tofu and save it, and then I'll make, I made a cup of quinoa. I'm not gonna eat all of that obviously tonight, so that will save and be, you know, really easy and quick to warm up tomorrow for lunch or tomorrow for dinner, whatever it may be. So I just like to always like make big batches of food, like when I do make a stir fry like this, especially like when I'm in the process of like cutting up a bunch of veggies and things like that, then I have to do it one time. Our sweet potatoes are also done. They are over here cooling. Oops. And they turned out perfectly. So they have just like a little bit of like a charring. You can kind of see the skin a little bit there, a little bit of like a little charring on them. And then the inside is nice and soft, so good. Okay, so all my raw veggies are in here. In here I have a half of a green bell pepper, half of a red bell pepper, half of a yellow bell pepper. And then I have 3 decently, well, actually pretty small heads of broccoli, including the stems. Now what I'm gonna do is I have this avocado oil that I think I got from Costco, and then a little bit of tamari sauce. I'm gonna take a teaspoon of the avocado oil, okay, and put that on my veggies. And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna turn my wok on over medium heat over there, let that get warm. I'm gonna take a teaspoon of my tamari and put that in the veggies. Cool. Now, it might not seem like that's a lot of oil and or tamari, because it's not. You don't need a ton of oil when you're doing a stir fry. I think that we can definitely overdo it on the oil. And I like to, it smells good. I like to add it to the veggies, and I kind of will just toss them like this to coat them. That way all the veggies are getting coated in this oil and tamari, and I think it helps it cook evenly. So yeah, they're all coated. And that's that. And then I'm going to finish off our stir fry with the Trader Joe's almond butter turmeric salad dressing. This is truly one of my favorite things ever. It's just almond butter, cold pressed lemon juice, ginger, turmeric, and black pepper. I think like the flavors in this are so good and I just love it in a stir fry. So I'm gonna cook the veggies once my wok is warm. And I'll show you all of that. I'm just so happy that you're like hanging out with me and cooking with me and just being in my kitchen with me. This is like truly one of my happy places, like in our house. Like I love being in here. I think I feel really close to like my grandma, my mom's mom, when I'm in the kitchen, because she loved to cook and she was a really good cook, and my mom is the same. And I don't know, it's just kind of like, it just reminds me of like my family, and just, you know, we just have an appreciation for food, both being Italian and just, you know, growing up with moms who cooked a lot and cooked, you know, homemade meals. And if and when I have a family one day, we, my husband and I, have a family one day, like that's super important to me, that I'm able to, you know, cook. And I think it's like an act of love almost, being able to cook for other people, and I just really feel that. So yeah, I'm happy that you're here. Okay, let's get these veggies in our wok. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna go wash my dishes over here and let that cook for a little bit, and I will be right back. All right, so here is my finished product. So good. So on the bottom down here, I have my red quinoa, and then I just have this like piled up with a ton of veggies, lots of broccoli, my peppers, my sweet potato on top here. This is the tofu that I baked. I just kind of cubed it after it came out of the oven. So we've got that, and I'm going to top this whole thing with the Trader Joe's, if that focuses for you, Trader Joe's almond butter turmeric salad dressing. You guys, if you have not tried this before, it is seriously so good. I love it, and I think it's like a really great complement to a stir fry dish. So that's it. This was super easy. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me. Thank you for keeping me company in my kitchen tonight. And if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, please let me know. I would be happy to do them. And yeah, happy to hang out with you. So, kombucha cheers to you. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day, your night, wherever you are right now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.